Now you have to think, you can pay your whole student debt off in 5 years. Hey guys, my name is Marlon, and on this channel I share with you tips and strategies that you can improve your life as just a regular person coming from nothing, or if you have next to nothing. That is the main focus on this channel. So if it's your first time here, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. If you're a returning person, hey, welcome back. Sorry it's been a little bit of time since I've updated. I've been recording a lot and I just hadn't had time to edit anything and update it. Now this video is going to be pretty much focused on getting student debt and the benefits of actually getting student debt, and everybody you hear complaining about not to get student debt, because it's actually quite annoying. Now every single day you'll hear everybody and their mom say, well, you shouldn't go into student debt because it is a trap and you will end up like this and like this. Well, here's two questions to ask before you go into student debt, or even if you are in student debt. Ask yourself this one question or two questions. The first question: before you took this debt out, if you never took it out at all, would you be in the exact same situation you are right now as far as your living conditions, or would you have been in a worse situation? Now, if the answer is you would be in a better situation if you didn't take this debt out, why did you take it out in the first place, and why didn't you consider the worst case scenario as an option? Because that's what you need to figure out before you even try to go into debt, when doing anything for schooling. What if this does not work out? What is your solution? Now, or what is the worst case scenario? Let's say if your career is you're gonna get paid $200,000 a year and the minimum you've seen anywhere is $30K. Well, plan for $30K. If you get anything higher than that and you already planned for $30K, you're golden. That's what a lot of people don't realize. Now, the second portion is, let's say if you say, oh, well, even if this doesn't work out, my life will be better. Now, not better in the sense that you're paying a bunch of loans back, but better in the sense that you have more money so you can do more things. Because that's one of the things that's very, very annoying. Yesterday, on my way home, I was listening to a radio program down here, and this girl was complaining about all the student debt she had because she went to go get her master's. Mind you, getting your master's takes quite a bit of time. So you think at some point you kind of realize, well, this isn't really the greatest thing in the world. Let me do some studying on my own to move forward and get everything a little bit better. Well, she finished her master's, and now she's complaining about the fact she has to pay her student debt off, but she can pay it off in 5 years if she really buckles down. Now you have to think, you can pay your whole student debt off in 5 years, but you're telling people don't do this, even though because you went into this debt that you can pay off in 5 years, that has increased your actual class of your living by so much. You are telling people that, let's say they don't have any money and they know they're capable about this and they don't even need that much money, and they know the worst case scenario from going into this debt is their life will be better or their children's lives will be better, and you're telling people, well, it's bad, you shouldn't do it because you have to pay back your money in 5 years or even more. Now I understand there's a bunch of people that go out there and get, like, what is it, the funny joke, underwater basket weaving. That's your own fault. The whole thing with getting student debt, it is a big risk versus reward factor, so it's really up on you. Me personally, I paid for schooling out of pocket because when I was younger, I did not understand how student debt worked. I didn't really have a support system as far as how college would work. So that's why I make all these videos, so I can help people at least get some sort of information. I didn't have any of that. But luckily, I didn't jump into that hole of student loan debt with no idea for where to go. Luckily, my major that I'm in school for is stayed consistent. And even if I don't make a lot of money doing it, I know the minimum amount I can make is better than where I am now, which makes me happy. So yes, if I was to go into debt today to pay for schooling, at the end of the day, it would be profitable because the minimum amount will be able to pay back my debt, and I'll be at a better standing in life. And then my kids that come after me, I'll have the ability to help them get better. So that's why it's very, very annoying. So I would say this: next time you see anybody preaching about you shouldn't take out student loan debt, now, as I said, I'm not a big advocate of it. Think about what's the worst case scenario. Pick a major that actually makes money and the field isn't congested. Like people that go to school for graphic design, in all honesty, I feel really bad for them because everybody and their mom is inside that field. If you are in graphic design, take up some freelance work. You probably will make a bunch more money doing freelance while you're going to school. You can probably pay for your schooling with freelance graphic design work, or even photography, or even music. Even though music is a whole different field, but you can make money with the arts outside of school to pay for school. So it doesn't really make sense. You can't go out and practice being a doctor to pay the school to be a doctor. Kind of a different field. Or even be a lawyer. Kind of a different thing. You can't really go out giving legal service without that actual licensing. So kind of a little different. So if you're in the arts, you have a little bit of a step ahead where you can start making that money for yourself. Now, as I said, the main thing is if you hear somebody talking about how bad their student debt is and how they have to pay this much money, the fact is, wait. Would you be able to pay this money before you went into debt? And also, after you finish paying this debt, no matter how long it is, can you pay for this debt and also live at a better standard of life than what you were previously in? And that's what you have to ask yourself. Are these people really telling me not to do something that can benefit myself just because they don't like the fact they have to pay for the risk they took? So take everything with a grain of salt. Even the things I say, take them with a grain of salt. Do your own research. Find out your own facts. Ask that question. Why don't they want me to do this? Because in a lot of times, you might find out the reason they don't want you to do it is, hey, it might be beneficial for you, but they just don't like it. It might be based, because a lot of times, we don't do things because we have to. We do things because we want to. And you have to think about that. So anytime you go to the store, you might need water. And you say, yeah, I need water, but okay. You don't want water, so you don't buy water. You buy a soda. I mean, I don't buy sodas, I buy water. But I'm just using it for an example. Water is better for you, but people buy soda because they want soda. So you don't go off what you want, it's what you need until something ridiculous happens. But outside of my rambling, listen. Live your life. Understand there are risks versus rewards. The people that actually did go into student debt and they come out on the other end complaining about the money they have to pay back, not the fact that they don't have the money to pay back. The ones that go on the other side and say they don't have the money to pay back, I feel bad for them because I'm like, hey, your risk sucked. It sucks when it happens. If you took a bad major, you took a bad major off the bat. If you took something that literally had no money in there where you're going to be making $30K a year off the bat, knowing that, and you still went into debt for it, bro, I don't have nothing to say with you. That was a horrible decision. I feel bad for you, but that was a horrible decision. But if you're in a field where the bracket is 20K versus 200K, and you know you can't survive on that 20K, or you know you can't even survive on 40, 50, you have to go really, really higher, find somebody to live with, get a roommate, go marry somebody, double the income in the household, figure something out. But besides that, listen, that was a little bit of a rant about student loan debt. If you can avoid it, avoid it. If it's something that you know 100%, even if you get the worst possible case scenario, will improve your life and your kid's life or your family's life currently, do it. I mean, why not? It's literally risk versus reward. At the end of the day, if you make more money and you can improve your whole family as a whole, and if you're the old person in debt and that extra money you did, put your kids further off in the future and your kids can recircle in money. I mean, what's the worst outcome? Yes, you would have to pay that. Yes, it would suck for a few years. Like this lady I was listening to over the radio. It would suck for 5 years. Jesus, 5 years. 5 years. That flies by so fast, especially when you have enough money to do what you want. It'd be, and the thing is, I assume she probably did come from money in some way where she just didn't want to pay it because her standards of living probably didn't change because she probably picked a major for her master's that the additional money didn't do anything. She's still in the same standards of living because she probably was already in high living. So she's like, oh, well, I'm already used to this. Why I got to pay money when I already am used to it? It was a bad decision on her part. But anyways, listen, make sure you guys rate, comment, subscribe. If you do have any comments or anything, let me know. Post them in the description below. I know this is on a little bit of a topic that a lot of people really don't like because more debt is a bad thing. But you have to understand that, hey, life is a little bit different for everybody else.